It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Top match racing crews from around the world are gathering on the north shore of Lake Constance for the first event of the 2013 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. 2012 was a great year on the tour and went right down to the wire. 8 events had 5 different winners, with Ian Williams and GAC Pindar eventually knocking Bjorn Hansen and Mekonomen Sailing Team into second, with Phil Robertson of WAKA Racing in third. Wildcard Taylor Camfield shocked the field by winning 2 events, including the season finale in Malaysia. We catch up with the skippers and tour card holders before the event and before the wind kicks in on Lake Constance.
Yeah, 2012 ended up to be a great season for us. We finished third. Last year, I mean, we didn't put a whole lot of focus on the tour, to be honest. We put the America's Cup sailing in front of it and decided to focus a lot more on that. So 2013, the focus is on the tour 100%. That's been our goal we set 5 years ago, is to win it 2013, and so we're putting everything we have into this year, and we're just going to go as hard as we can and try and take the sucker out.
We had a good start of the year for sure. We came back and won both Korea and Sweden, which was fantastic for us.
Yeah, 2012 season was fantastic for GAC Pindar. We thought that we'd blown it in St Moritz when we were knocked out before the quarterfinals. Good old Mathieu Richard came to our rescue really and beat Bjorn in the quarterfinals there. Came out strong after that. We won the 2 next regattas, Chicago and France, and we went to Malaysia with a decent shot at winning.
Here we are coming into 2013, the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. This year we've got a fantastic line of tour card skippers. We've got Ian Williams back defending his world title, going for his 5th consecutive World Championship. There's a lot of competition there. We've got the new tour card holders like Taylor Camfield out of the US Virgin Islands, who was very impressive on the tour last year. We've got the return of Adam Minoprio and his new team Alpari FX. Yep. There's a huge amount of competition on the water. I think Ian's going to have his work cut out for him, for sure. Here at Match Race Germany, you've got the slightly bigger boats. It's on a lake sailing. The winds are very fluky here with the mountains behind. Versus Korea, you have the smaller, more agile boat. I would say that it's all down, certainly to the first few events, to put the points on the scoreboard. We're really trying to raise the bar of the events. I think it's going to be certainly an exciting season.
All the teams this year are going to be very, very hard to beat. It's going to be a very, very tight tour, I think, and consistency is probably going to be a big factor this year, and just trying to clock in podium finishes at each event and then ramp it up for the end of the season.
My approach has always been just to be a little bit better the day after the day before, you know, and it's really just about tightening up with the communication and the skills and everything on board, just to get a little bit more accurate and therefore, you know, a little bit more consistent.
Team-wise, you know, I don't think anyone's strong, anyone's weak.
Team Alpari FX being back in the tour has raised the game, and It's going to make it a lot harder for Williams and Bjorn and Phil.
It'll probably come down to teamwork and who's got the best team at the end of the day. It's not the skipper, and it's not anyone else on board, it's all working together, and that's going to be a big part of it.
There's a bit more pressure as one of the tour card holders this year, but you know, we're sailing with the same team, kind of doing the same thing, so we're just going to again take it one race at a time, and I think we've definitely raised some eyebrows, but you know, we're not going to change anything on our part. So
I don't know, I'm just going to treat every race as I always do. I want to go out there and win.
We've won the last 2 Alpari World Match Racing Tours. Of course we wouldn't be happy unless we win another. That's not to say it'll be easy, but that's got to be our goal, and that's what we'll be trying to do.
I think it's always nice to beat the other Kiwi team, that's for sure, so we'll put a target on Monoplio's head and try and take him out.
We're going to do what we've got to do to win, mate.
So after all the anticipation, the qualifying round of the 16th Match Race Germany finally got underway. All teams started under grey stormy skies and a shifting wind pattern, which finally settled in from the southwest and was just about strong enough to sail, but rarely getting above 10 knots. Tour card holder Johnny Bernson and his newly formed Stena sailing team give us an insight into their season plans, and then in Flight 5 go up against Mathieu Richard of GEFCO Match Racing team. Johnny desperately needs the win.
We think that we really much know what we need to change for this year, and it's about getting a smaller team with 5-person crew. We have been 9 during 2012. Now we're just 5 people that focus on the practice and focus on the performance together. And we can already see the effect of that we are doing even better. The tour has been building up during the 5, 6, 7 latest years. What that makes is that new teams, younger teams, and that makes a high competitive level, that pushing us that has been in the tour, and it's also pushing the younger teams to perform even better. Of course, important to getting a win here, but for us it's more important to getting a start of the season and facing all the other teams, getting more into the racing, and if we win this event, it's of course really important, but this is only the first race of the tour. We're aiming for the top. It will be tough to go there, but if we end up with top 3, we will be happy with it, but we're aiming for the top.
Johnny.
Rival.
Johnny is a nice guy.
We are good friends.
A little harder to read, I'd say.
Well, we're definitely not good friends when we're out on the water.
On the water, I don't really talk to him. We just try and beat him.
We call him the smiling assassin.
The killer.
Relax on land, and when it comes time to race, flip the switch.
The smiling assassin.
So it's game on, Match Race Germany. It's the qualifying round, Flight 5, Match 1. Mathieu Richard up against Johnny Bernson. Johnny Bernson perhaps with the better of the start. Tracking across the bow of Mathieu Richard. Bernson tacks to cover Mathieu Richard. He's coming in a little more speed. Small piece of Bernson forcing him away to this left-hand side. Now, Mathieu Richard, the better of the boat speed. He has that all-important right-hand side. We have seen the left side come good so far today, so nothing really to pick between these two boats as we come upwind. As we come up towards the top, it's Johnny Bernson below the ley line coming up to try and force Mathieu Richard through the tack. Some appeals from Richard, but it's Johnny Bernson that's going to have the inside at this mark. Mathieu Richard up on the outside. Johnny Bernson holding position, perhaps waiting for the speeds to equalise on the boats before he leads away from this top mark. Here Berntsen goes, rolling through the tack. Richard moves to follow. As the spinnakers shoot up, it's a drag race to the finish with only inches separating the boats here on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Squaring the guy back. The spinnakers set. Now can Mathieu Richard find a way back into this all-important match? So as we come down to the finish, it is Mathieu Richard that has snuck by Johnny Berntsen. He takes the win. The full-on face is on the Swede.
The organisers ripped through 10 flights of the qualifying round, bringing all of the 12 international teams up to 5 races sailed. At the end of day 1, the leaderboard looked like this. Ian Williams, Mathieu Richard and Pierre-Antoine Morvan are all tied on 4 wins and 1 loss. Following closely behind are 4 teams on 3 wins and 2 losses. Taylor Camfield, Keith Swinton, Adam Minoprio and Bjorn Hansen. Whilst Phil Robertson and Johnny Berntsen struggle on 2 wins and 3 losses. Alpari Team FX are one of those teams in the hunt for qualification, and the matchup one that everyone has anticipated for a while is Adam Minoprio, ex-world champion, versus newbie and winner of 2 events in 2012, Taylor Camfield.
Going into that race against Adam Minoprio, we knew it was going to be a tough match, and we knew that that was kind of going to be a key point later in the event. We again just went into it really calm and smooth, and just like any other race. And you know, we came in with the starboard advantage, which was nice, and you know, we got off the pre-start relatively even.
Speed build mode. 5. Hey, good.
We felt we were strong off the start line, and we ended up tacking just as probably a tad too late in a hole, and from there, if you tack these boats in a bit lighter pressure, you never get your speed back.
Just after the start, made it across to the right side of the course, which we also thought was pretty nice, and right filled in and rounded the winter mark ahead, and we're able to hold it from there.
So far in the regatta, we're on 4 wins and 4 losses, so we're at even. Still have 3 races left, and if we want to be comfortable into the quarterfinals, we need to take all 3 races.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour from Germany and Lake Constance. There are 2 stories running concurrently. First, the tussle for who would win the qualifying round and head directly through to the semi-finals. Then there is the battle of the remaining 11 teams, vying to make it into the remaining 6 places available and to qualify for the quarter-finals. All of the teams have 2 races remaining, and any of 9 could go through or go home. It really is do or die.
Today's the 3rd day on Match Race Germany. We're having 2 races left, all the teams, and it's the deciding point who will go to the quarterfinals and who will be knocked out. We're going into light conditions today. They expect maybe no winds until the afternoon, and if we get something, it will be really light, so it's going to be tricky for everyone.
It's a great first 2 days, and yeah, I think we are on the top of the leaderboard at the moment, and it's good. We try to do as good as we can, and we'll see at the end if we have a good result. It will be great.
We must win at least 1, maybe 2,
but it's a lot of everything is in our hands, so we're in a good position, I think.
Team Alpari FX have a big job ahead of them to make it through to the top 7 to the quarterfinals. Racing Matthew Richard and Johnny Bernstein, you always know they're going to be tough races. That's just all the races here are tough, so is what it is, and we're just going to go out there and take it as another race.
We need to win one of the 2 races to be sure to proceed to the quarterfinals. It's going to be 2 tough races for sure, but we feel good. Feels like we have been sailing pretty solid during the whole week, and hope that we can keep that up today.
We're fine with how it's going. We know that what the 5% we need to work on is, and we're going to go out there today, work on that, try right some wrongs with that, and I think we're still, we're feeling confident with the way that we're starting. With just a few little mistakes around the course, which we feel that will be easy enough to iron out and come strong rest of today in the future regattas.
Nice guy Bjorn Hansen, and one of the veterans of the Tour, came 2nd overall last year. He's come back aggressively this year and powered through qualifying, and is confident of progressing to the quarters. He faces Pierre-Antoine Morvan, who desperately needs victory in both his remaining flights. Flight 20, Match 3, a classic match race. Nice guys? Not really.
Bjorn's a super nice guy.
Very funny.
Old. A mix between a fox and a terrier.
A very tough competitor.
You never see him giving up.
If he can goes to attack, he does.
He's always pushing hard right till the end of the race.
If he gets a bite of you, he never let it go. So he's really, really a fighter.
This is Flight 20, Bjorn Hansen up against Pierre-Antoine Morvan. Join them in the pre-start. Bjorn Hansen circling back towards Morvan to control him, keep him to that right-hand side. Hansen circles down, trying to keep Morvan off to this right-hand side. I think Morvan's going to go for the jibe. You see Bjorn Hansen diving down inside, trying to prevent him getting across the front. He is on starboard. Bjorn Hansen has the rights. As the boats come close together, it's going to be close. I think Bjorn Hansen had to avoid. Bjorn Hansen desperate to stay on starboard there, but I think his boom coming across, so he's forced to luff and avoid Morvan. There's the blue flag, so penalty Morvan. He's not able to get across the front cleanly, and it's cost him a penalty. Both boats pointing back towards the committee boat end of the line. Bjorn Hansen's early, he's looking to shed speed. We can see sails flailing on both boats as Morvan tries to pressure Bjorn Hansen into an early start. As we come into the top mark, it's Morvan that has the advantage. He's going to lead around this top mark. Bjorn Hansen's done a nice job of keeping it close. Talking of close, it's Bjorn Hansen that's now close to this top mark. I think small amount of contact. Now, this could be the turnaround that Morvan needs. This could be the moment where he offloads that penalty. We should expect to see a yellow flag signifying a penalty to Bjorn Hansen. It doesn't look like it's coming. I'm not sure the umpires either saw or were certain that they saw contact between the mark and the boat there. So I think a lucky escape for Bjorn Hansen. That blue flag, that penalty on Morvan still flying as both boats track down the run. We come down to that second mark. He's done a nice job of keeping it close. Morvan's leading around. Hansen just has to stay close enough that Morvan doesn't have enough distance to complete that penalty turn. Nice drop from both boats. Get back onto the beat, ready for lap 2. The boats come back up. There's Morvan, he's out in front. Now, has he got enough distance I don't think he does yet. Hansen going fast, more than rolling through attack. To stay between Bjorn Hansen and the mark. Now I wonder, are we going to see more than come back? Here comes Pierre-Antoine Morvan. I think he's going to try and do a mark trap. See the mark up ahead. He's calling no room. Bjorn Hansen forced to go up inside. Morvan rolling through the tack. Now he has not got enough distance, I don't think, to do this penalty, so I wonder if we're going to see some action, some fireworks at the top of this race course.
He's got a second one. Easy, he's got 2.
When there are 2 penalties outstanding, the second has to be taken immediately, and we can see Morvan turning up into the tack, completing that turn through the wind. Get rid of one of those 2 penalties. Really the nail in the coffin of the race for the Frenchman. Struggle to come back, a penalty down on the final leg to the finish. This is all Bjorn Hansen. It's a Mekonomen sailing team coming down the run. Comes down towards the finish. This confirms his place in that quarter-final round. I think the first time he's made it through to the knockout stages of Match Race Germany. Come up to the line, it's about this man, Bjorn Hansen.
Oh, it was a good race for us. We were a little bit lucky. We actually hit the top mark without the umpire seeing it, so we were lucky there. That's good to finally make it to the quarterfinals in Langenargen.
The heavyweight flight bout to decide the overall winner of qualifying was in the final flight of qualifying when Williams crew GAC Pindar lined up against Taylor Canfield's crew US1.
GAC Pindar came into the day with 6 wins and 2 losses. And we always knew that the key match was going to be against Taylor Canfield to top the round robin, and that's the one we were really fired up for. We got away from the dial up first and had a nice timed run around the committee boat to the starboard end of the line, and really that gave us the control for the first beat that allowed us to actually stretch away a little bit and make the rest of the race comfortable.
We're just happy to have made the quarterfinals. I think that's kind of your first goal is every team at the event is to make the quarters. So we had an opportunity to take the top spot in the round robin, but lost our last race against Williams. So you know we're right in the position we wanted to be coming into it. So we're pretty happy.
We lead Williams for 90% of the race, and he passed us right at the finish just with a random puff really on the last downwind, and that was a bit disappointing, having sailed so well for so long. And then exactly the same with Morvan, just led him for the whole race, bar the last top mark, and yeah, just got it wrong, so couldn't close it out, which was a real shame, and I think we get knocked out. Having so much control for both the races that we had to win and lose them both was yeah, it's a pretty nasty feeling right now.
Team Alpari FX is extremely happy today, and we managed to get 2 wins against 2 tough competitors, Johnny Robertson and Matthew Richard. So feel like we're building up towards stronger and stronger as the regatta goes on.
We tend to be pretty strong in the round robins, and you know, the important time is the last day, is the semi-finals and the finals. So we'll do all we can to have a good performance there, and we'll see how we go.
So with Williams beating Canfield, he tops the leaderboard, with Matthew Richard and Taylor Canfield in 2nd and 3rd on 8 wins and 3 losses. Hansen comes in a close 4th, just half a point down deducted from an earlier collision. And the final qualifying places go to Adam Minoprio, Johnny Bernson and ex-America's Cup skipper Karol Jablonski.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to part 3 of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour from Langenargen, Germany. Day 4 and yet another weather pattern. This time strong winds from the west with forecasted gusts up to 25 knots and a sizable swell.
There's 15-20 knots and it's about 10 degrees and expected to get colder, so it's going to be some tough sailing conditions. We're up against Bjorn Hansen again today, and you might see a few crashes.
We really like the cold. It's almost like home, but now it's a tough day with a lot of waves out there, and I think that it's going to be a tough match. It's definitely going to 5 matches, and hopefully we win the last one.
It's going to be tough, that's for sure. And it's going to be windy and it's going to be cold, and we just got to go out there and do what we know how and hope for the best.
The quarterfinals comprised of 3 first to 3-point matches, and they got underway immediately after qualifying. With Karol Jablonski level at 1-1 against Maciej Ryszard's Gefco Match Racing team, Adam Manoprio's Team Alpari FX on the same score with Bjorn Hansen's Mekonomen Sailing team, Johnny Berntson's Stena Sailing team looking strong, 2-0 up against Taylor Camfield and US1.
A little bit of a tough day yesterday after making it through the qualifying round, and thought we were off to 2 pretty good starts with 1 penalty against Johnny in the first race and 2 against him in the second race.
I try to focus just that we need to win 1 race. It doesn't. What is history. Now we need to win 1 race, and we have 3 chances to do that.
It's going to be a lot more challenging, obviously, in the bigger boats. These boats don't go that much faster, so everything just loads up a lot more. And we're confident that we're going to do pretty well.
I think we're going to see some interesting match racing. I think both of us want to win the race. So
we're not giving up, so coming out strong.
Like always in match racing, you have to adapt to the conditions, adapt to the wind, adapt to the boats, adapt to the weather conditions. We are used to that, but that's the game. We have to adapt to that. Yesterday I missed both starts, and yeah, it's always tough to come from behind and to win a match like that. If it works on the start, I think then we can manage to stay ahead and to win 2 points that we need.
It was going to be an interesting day on the water, with the teams all needing to reach 3 points to proceed through to the semi-finals, where one of them would meet Ian Williams, who was already through to the last 4 by winning the qualifying heats. Having the easiest ride through the semi-finals was France's Maciej Ryszard, who won both his matches today against the Polish former America's Cup helm and ISAF Match Racing World Champion Karol Jablonski. Adam Manoprio once again did his comeback kid routine. His Team Alpari FX crew lost today's first race to Bjorn Hansen's team after picking up a penalty for failing to keep clear as the 2 boats came together up the first beat. This left the Kiwi team 1-2 down. Race 4 was a crucial match in which Adam Manoprio had to win.
We rejoin our quarterfinal. Adam Manoprio up against Bjorn Hansen. Hansen away, winning 2 to get to match point. He's 2-1 up against Adam Manoprio. He is leading this match down towards the finish.
You've got us below boat lane, green.
Adam Manoprio looking to try to attack the breeze of Bjorn Hansen. Wind still thundering down the lake here. Match race Germany, Lake Constance. Has Bjorn Hansen and his team got the nerve and the cool to hold this position through to the finish? Adam Manoprio is all over their air. They need to hold on to this lured position. Try and get air clear behind. That's certainly what Bjorn Hansen's looking to do. Adam Manoprio sailing low, trying to get down onto the breeze of Bjorn Hansen. We're going to see a luff. I think we're going to see some fireworks between these 2 teams. Here comes Bjorn Hansen. Up with a very aggressive luff. Yeah, just a key mistake. You see the spinnaker of Bjorn Hansen just beginning to break. He's handing the advantage back to Adam Manoprio. The team's trying to get Bavarian match 40s up onto these waves, just starting to build on the race course. First the surge to Adam Onoprio, then the surge to Bjorn Hansen. Absolutely neck and neck between these two. We are on ley line to the finish. There's the serve for Bjorn Hansen, there's the serve for Adam Onoprio. Both crews working hard. We can see the main fanning, trying to get every last bit out of the boat. The concentration on the face of these two skippers tells the story as we come down to the line. There's only feet between them. Adam Onoprio with a late surge, I think, has a small advantage. It may well come down to the bias on the line as we come through. And Adam Onoprio there sneaking round in front of Bjorn Hansen to take that win to 2-2.
With Team Alpari FX winning the 4th race, albeit by a whisker, and now equalising the scores, it means it all comes down to one final race to decide who would make it to the semis. Over to Simon Shaw to commentate.
Adam Onoprio up against Bjorn Hansen. Both boats in the pre-start. Onoprio circling round on the stern of Hansen, trying to force the mistake. The breeze is up, the weather is in, and we have a show in front of us as these two match racing heavyweights go head to head. Hansen through the breeze. Penalty there perhaps. Feeling that no attacking boat, but flags from the umpires as Onoprio falls away, back sailing. Chris Main, tactician of Team Alpari FX, winding the sails in as the boats come back towards winding up to the start. The rain driving down. But it is Bjorn Hansen that leads the pair around the top mark. The first to set is Spinnaker. Here comes Team Alpari FX. Chris Main wrestling Spinnaker to the top of the mast as they come down this first run. Coming up to the second mark. Oh, and the boat's trade blows. Adam Onoprio right on the button of Bjorn Hansen. Adam Onoprio a very close tack onto starboard, acquiring right of way. Now can Adam Onoprio turn this round? Can he gain some advantage in towards this top mark? Bjorn Hansen has the right hand side. Adam Onoprio has the left. Now biting conditions. Advantage to him. Team Alpari FX. The second top mark in the lead. Bjorn Hansen right behind. A great set from Team Alpari FX. Bjorn Hansen there, then getting into a little bit of boat handling difficulty. We can see his spinnaker has not set. A very poorly timed error from the Mekonomen sailing team. Still no spinnaker for Bjorn Hansen. This is a disaster. He had the lead, he had the control, but some swift work from Adam Onoprio at the top. That second beat. And he now has the lead as we come down to this bottom mark. This is to the finish. We come down to the bottom of the course. We can see there it is Adam Minoprio with now significant advantage. Great sailing.
In the other quarter-final, Berntsen had Camfield on the ropes with a 2-0 advantage, including one race where he'd recovered from 2 penalties down after hooking into his own personal breeze. Camfield fought back to even the scoreline.
Tough day out there, obviously. We had a great comeback and equalized the score at 2-2 in the quarters against Berntsen, and we just couldn't follow through in that last race. We're happy with 5th for the first event, and we're just going to continue to grow and continue to build our confidence and our ability as a team. So it should be a good year.
We're very disappointed, of course. It was 5 really tough races against Adam. It was really fun racing, but that's when it hurts the most to lose also. So yeah, we're just going to go back to Sweden, join forces, and come back to Korea and do a good result there.
With Hansen and Camfield losing their final races, the semi-final pairings of Williams, Minoprio, Richard and Berntsen, 2 ex-world champions from 4 nations and 3 continents, battling it out on German water to become champion of Match Race Germany. Join us in part 4 for semi-final and finals action from Match Race Germany.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.
Welcome back to part 4 of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour from Match Race Germany, and it's the day that matters. It's the business end of the regatta. So the semi-final pairings are in Match 1, Ian Williams, GAC Pindar and Johnny Berntsen's Stena Sailing Team, whilst the second pair were Adam Minoprio's Team Alpari Team FX against Mathieu Richard's GEFCO Sailing Team. The first of the semi-finals happened in light and shifting winds following the raging storm, but in a tale of 2 halves. Once the storm died down, the conditions changed, and Lake Constance, wedged between various weather patterns, proved a tricky place to sail.
Conditions are very different this afternoon, really less wind, but still waves, probably big waves on the race course. So tricky conditions on those boats with light wind and waves, and should be one of the keys of the victory. I mean the boat handling and the boat speed.
The intensity and the level of the game here, the smallest mistake normally counts, and as the regatta goes on, we're getting stronger and making less and less mistakes.
We're sailing against Johnny Berntsen. He had a great quarter-final against Taylor Camfield. He was the first pick in the quarters, and it's often the way you go through and then you're the first pick in the semi. So we certainly won't be taking him lightly. Interestingly, a condition change. It was windy for the quarter-finals this morning and the breeze has dropped right off. So I think that hopefully will play into our hands a little bit. The practice that they were getting shouldn't advantage them quite so much.
Ian Williams, who'd gone straight through to the semis from the qualifying round with a bye, was a little slow out of the blocks and was 1-2 down against Johnny Berntsen's Stena Sailing Team. He needed some good World Championship magic to pull this one back. But this was going to go all the way to the full 5 matches in the search for the elusive 3 points.
Johnny Berntsen up against Ian Williams. The wind has settled and the sun is shining here at Lake Constance, Match Race Germany. First stage of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour.
Get to him here. Get to him there. 145.
Both boats leading back towards the start line. Johnny Berntsen out in front, and Williams keeping him under pressure.
As we come up, we're going to hit you, Johnny. Come up, we're going to hit you, Johnny. Come in. Seconds for the pit. 45.
Encouragement from Williams, trying to force Berntsen over the line. Green flags from the umpires.
Not sure still, Bill. I think he's got it.
Johnny Berntsen has the left. Ian Williams has the right. We have quite a big split. But as the boats come back together, Berntsen with a close cross. Williams thinks he's across, but Williams getting stronger all the time as the boats come back together. Williams turning up inside, and we're going to see umpires' decisions. It's flags galore. Bill Hardesty, tactician on board GAC Pindar, blazing the white flag at the umpires. There's the penalty. It's a blue flag. That's a penalty on Berntsen. And now the red flag. Now the red flag signifying that Johnny Berntsen has to do his penalty straight away. Now we're on a beat, so that's just one tack. And here comes Johnny Berntsen. He's round through the breeze. Bill Hardesty and Ian Williams heckling Berntsen. And from a marginal cross, Berntsen finds himself 5 lengths behind. Disaster has struck. As we come onto the final downwind, it's Williams with a substantial advantage.
I think they'll give us time for a schnitzel.
Here, Bill Hardesty, tactician, analysing whether they'll have time for lunch before moving into the finals. Where it's nothing but frustration on board Berntsen. And there you can see what this means. Ian Williams in his first final of Match Race Germany.
In the other semi-final match, Adam Minoprio had to come from behind to win against France's experienced Mathieu Richard and his Gefco Match Racing team to take him through on a 3-1 scoreline. So, with only 2 teams left, the 16th Match Race Germany was on for an exhilarating pairing for the finals.
Ian Williams against Adam Minoprio. Minoprio diving down from this right-hand position across the front of Williams.
He was hit to win for ages.
What's your rotation now?
Misses right away. Minoprio must keep clear.
You're hit to win half the time.
And as the crews exchange over that incident, Minoprio at risk. There's the blue flag, so the umpires agree. Penalty on Minoprio.
115.
112. Williams looking for that wide right start, positioning himself to the right of Minoprio. Minoprio seems slower to
coming down into
decide what he's looking for.
Speed.
Now circles back round to try and cut off Williams.
Just get speed on.
It's Williams now turning down to a final jibe before sweeping up towards the line. In the final seconds, the boat's winding up the speed. And as the gun goes, a great start there from Williams to win that right-hand end. As we come down to the second mark, it's still Williams with the lead. Minoprio just looking on as Williams round the mark.
Good. Go drop.
Now here comes Minoprio. Alpari FX Spinnaker comes down. There's the frightening side of the bow wave on board Williams' boat as he tracks away in the lead of this final. As we come forward to the final downwind, that shot says it all. Williams has control. Williams has the lead. And it looks like it's going to be Williams and GAC Pindar that are going to close off Match Race Germany. This is the first stage
wide ride,
of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. And it is Williams, the defending 4-time world champion, that is going to come through the line to take the win here on Lake Constance, close off Match Race Germany.
Just fabulous for GAC Pindar to come here to Match Race Germany and win the regatta. It was our first Alpari World Match Racing Tour regatta here in Germany in 2005, so it's been a long time coming, but to have finally won is fantastic. Conditions like that, you can't control everything. You've just got to do the best job you can. Sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. And I think maybe we got a little bit of luck in the semi-finals against Johnny. Could have gone the other way, but you know, we rode with it, and you know, the final we really dominated that pre-start and really earned it.
Disappointed, of course, to lose the finals to Ian, but we're extremely happy to start the season off for this year for second place. It's going to be some good points to build on for the rest of the tour. At about 1:30 to go, I stuffed up big time and decided to do 2 jibes, which takes about 1:30. And so we're late to the line, and Ian was on time with speed, so yeah, that's really where the race was lost. The guys did great work throughout the week to keep us in it, but yeah, I made them one mistake at the end of the race.
We've got a week off and then we're off to Gyeonggok for Korea, and one of our favourite events, for Korea Match Cup.
So final results at Match Race Germany 2013, and the leaderboard looks like this. In first place, it's Ian Williams and GAC Pindar on 25 points. Second, Adam Minoprio and Team Alpari FX on 22. Matthew Richard is in third from Gefco Match Racing Team on 19. Four, Johnny Bernson from Stenner Sailing Team with 16 points. 5, Taylor Camfield and US1, they're on 14. Bjorn Hansen is in 6th place with his Mekonomen Sailing Team on 12 points. 7th, Karol Jablonski on 10 points. Pierre-Antoine Morvan in 8th with Van Aglo's Sailing Team on 8 points. Phil Robertson's WAKA Racing on 4 points in 9th. Keith Swinton behind in 10th. Black Swan Racing on 2 points. And still to get off the mark in 11th, Philip Bull and Sven Erik Horsch, NRV Match Race Team.
It's volatile out there. Conditions can change in an instant. You've got to stay in control, spot the opportunity, then make your move. It's all about execution. Search Alpari Race and get on board. Alpari, your global Forex broker.
Forex is high risk and not suitable for all investors. Losses may exceed deposits.